ago when a group of friends said, hey, let's go to Peace Village. And I said, what's that? And they said, oh, it's a great place. It's beautiful. It was the fall. And there were about 15 of us who went up. And that's where I learned what we learn here, that you've been learning every week, that I am a soul with a temporary body and not a body with a soul. I am not the body. The body is like putting on clothes and then taking the clothes off, putting on pajamas at night. You change. But that I'm a soul and my original state is peace and love. So you've heard this a lot here. But for some reason, when Sister Dorothy, and I've said this before, forgive me if I'm repeating, when she looked at me doing what we call drishti, where we believe the soul is right here, and you connect soul to soul, but you're looking at the eye. You look like you're looking at the eyes, but we're connecting. And you can feel it if you stay with it. And when she said to me, you know, dear, you are a soul with a body, my eyes watered. She had touched something in me I didn't know I had. And I had always been a seeker all my life. What did I learn here? Over the past 18 years, but mostly the past COVID years made me a serious student. We learned to drop the stuff that's been acquired, the stuff you kind of don't like about yourself. For me, it was arrogance, ego, and they can pop their ugly heads at any time. It's always there, hiding, waiting. And we can always, without thinking, just lapse back into former behaviors. You know what I'm talking about? Zoom people, do you know what I'm talking about? But I have a place to go to I didn't have before 18 years ago, a place inside of me, a place that knows the power I can have to change a situation, the power I can have to transform a situation that looks very painful into a loving situation. And somehow, even though my family is not Brahmin, my son and his second wife and the 5 children that they have together, 3 and 2, are not Brahmin. But somehow they've picked up my secret. And I want to tell you a little bit about them. Their wedding anniversary, their first anniversary will be Thanksgiving. It's the 24th. Last year, we had a wedding celebration. Nobody could come to Jamaica. Instead of having a big wedding, there were 11 of us in a villa in Jamaica. And we didn't do it right away because of COVID. Right away meant the pain of 2 divorces, children living in the same house, trying to adapt to each other. My 3, her 2, my son's kids. And it was an adjustment period. Had that wedding taken place 5 years before, if COVID hadn't happened, that awful thing we call COVID, it would have been a whole other experience. But in Jamaica last year, it was a love fest. You have never seen, I had never seen 5 children show up for breakfast at 8:30 in the morning without being nagged to get up that early. They were there. They were having fun. We were so relaxed because the parents had established in those 5 years a loving atmosphere in the home. I have never seen my son be such an active, proactive father. They get into bed exhausted at night, helping 5 kids with homework. Exhausted, but they smile at each other. They smile because they know, here I learned the difference between limited happiness and unlimited happiness. So limited happiness, here's what I got for my birthday from them. It was beautiful. I felt great. And now I wear it. Unlimited happiness is the joy that they've produced in that house that nobody can take away. Yeah, you know that feeling. So what I learned here and why I'm most grateful for rubbing elbows with seniors that are Brahmin and calling myself a Brahmin and wearing white and wearing my badge. What I love most is my ability to drop that ego. We've talked about that plenty, and to transform the atmosphere around me and have people say to me, you have a light about you. It's not that I get up in the morning, get dressed and say, I'm going to have a light about me. There is something when I am fit, when my stage is stable, and it's happening more and more, and it can happen to you, and you don't have to be an angel, but you can perform angelic things, you know, like my son and his wife do with their family. It came from the pain of 2 divorces. So what I really want to talk about that I'm most grateful for in the Brahmin life is my faith that's developed in drama. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Faith in whatever happens is, I was corrected yesterday. It's not that it's correct. That sounds like right and wrong. The drama, I believe, and it's been proved to me, is accurate. What happens is accurate. That means my job is to take something I think with my great ego, I think in all my arrogance, it shouldn't have happened. I've erased that from my head. If it happens, my job is to see how I can elevate from what happened. For example, I shared with you, I went to India. I went up to our home in India, Madhuban. I was there for 2 weeks. The first thing that happens is I get stuck, my name over the loudspeaker in Kennedy, there's something suspicious in your bag. Oh, it sent me like spinning, right? Okay. Then I get there, and a little trouble with the bacteria, no matter how clever. I had stomach problems, a couple of days, but my anxiety about it exacerbated it. I know it. And I'm like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? I'll tell you why it happened. And I won't go into the gory details of my stomach problem, but I could not travel on a bus to go sightseeing with the others as often as they did. I was forced to do exactly what I came for. Sister Anjani had said, set a goal for yourself when you're going to India. My goal was to get closer to the heart, not the head, my heart to open more and more with God, whom we affectionately call Baba. And guess what? By being alone, floating on this wonderful, spectacular campus up in the mountains, 5 hours from Delhi, more, what I experienced were miracles in discovering my own power to sit and meditate and for 2 weeks have nothing to think about except my higher self connecting, we call it yoga, with God. You know what happened? All the anxiety, the low level anxiety, the stomach, the this, I can't, the all of it melted. This man we credit with the inspiration for all of this 90 years ago. Looking in those eyes, sitting and meditating. We don't worship him, we worship God, but we are so, in this theme today, grateful for his putting forth the effort that we can walk in his shoes and we can be as pure, I'll use that, in our treatment of ourselves and others, because you have to have it to give it away. And it's Thanksgiving, it's not Thanksgiving. So I've learned that when I give, I can change a room. I can change an atmosphere. And in India, I changed myself because I could meditate so much more deeply with that concentrated time on that campus where you could just feel the atmosphere. It was palpable. It was so special. And the sisters there were so special. The food was so special. They meditate, they cook in silence, putting energy in the food that we swallow. You know, it was just amazing. So being in that super saturated environment, I found an inner strength in myself that I had not yet tapped into in the 9 years that I've been a serious student. I'll be very honest. And that was the ability to totally go into a state of peace, even if I knew I was running to the bathroom soon. You know, it was just a beautiful, beautiful moment for me to be there, despite the fact that, again, it was spawned from painful thoughts. So for me, the drama is always correct, always correct. Does that sound possible? Sickness, death. You know, the thing that's eternal is the soul. It kind of proves to me that nothing can hurt me. Sure, I can be scared sometimes, but really, here we are. How many people do you know that want to join you here? You know, we are really a minority on the planet who come for an experience that is not just perceived with the five senses, right? We come for an experience that is rich. And some people think I'm doing something weird. Who cares? And when I'm upset with the world, I have to change that. I don't get upset with the world. In fact, my husband gets frustrated that I don't get upset with the world. The world is going according to plan, whatever that is. My job, and he walks through the door upset, I become a servant. And I don't mean a lap door. I don't mean a doormat. I become a servant. I become the one he can count on for peace. So in trying to help him, I help myself, you know. So just to sum up, I just really do believe that the most gratitude I have is for being here, holding a mic, and whether I'm watering plants or doing table arrangements or speaking somewhere, helping someone teach this, I love that you come here. And I love that I can stand here with a microphone and give you my heart, and hope that you walk out of here not only with a totally and a blessing, but hope you walk out of here with your heart feeling happy. Okay? And with that, I'm going to introduce Sister Anjani to talk to us about, as I said, you know, living with gratitude and giving thanks. And Sister Anjani is going to take her seat on the stage. Anybody have a thought or a comment about anything I said? Will she? Yes. So Zoom can hear you. No. Do I know why? Yes. He appreciates the changes in me, but it's not his thing. Not everybody, you know, not everybody can believe the way we do. Yeah. But he loves the, believe me, it changes to a more peaceful person. And if I sometimes disappoint, he knows that we're coming back. We're coming back to zero, even if we escalated for a second. He can trust me now. He can count on me. You know, I get beautiful cards for my birthday and anniversary. He appreciates, but no, he is not a problem. Thank you. Okay, Sister Anjani, it's all yours. I'm Shanti.
Shanti, and good evening. Who is here for the first time? You are? You've been here twice. Anyone else? First time? No. Okay. So it's the month that reminds us of gratitude, right? Giving thanks. Whom do we thank first? Mm. And why do we thank God first? Thank you, Louise. That was very interesting. Good stories. Recap of your story of Mount Abu and the families and how you work with things in everyday life. Wonderful. So, whom do we give thanks to? God? Okay. Why do we give thanks to God first? He's the only giver. So, He constantly gives, and so you give thanks to God. Then, what else do we give thanks to? And who else do we give thanks to? What are some of things, people, what? What do we give thanks to? What do you give? You give thanks to your teachers. And why do you give thanks to your teachers? The teachers bestowing, always bestowing something. Teachers always giving to you something. So we're very thankful to the teacher. Yes. I don't know, why are you? Why do you think? You're not sure you are. There must be something or someone you're thankful to for what you have. Yeah, I have everything to thank. Oh, you're thankful to me. Why not? I am thankful that you are here tonight. I appreciate that. And so, yes, we are thankful for each other's presence because in each other's presence, there is a sharing, there is a caring, there is a beautiful feeling of exchange when we are in this beautiful gathering. What else and who else are we thankful to? Come. You're thankful to your parents. And why are you thankful to your parents? That's your mom sitting next to you. Wonderful. She'd be happy to hear why you're thankful to her. They are your first teachers. Mhm. Right? So she taught you how to love. Very good. And this is why you're sitting next to her here tonight. You're thankful for her. Beautiful. Very good. So she's there for you at every step. Isn't that wonderful? Very good. Who else? Anyone? You're thankful to nature. And why are you thankful to nature? Nature gives you peace when you look at it. Mhm. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, you were saying? You're thankful to friends. And why are you thankful to friends? Your friends brings joy into your lives. Okay. Again, nature, your friends are giving to you something. Yes. Who else? Yeah. Okay. And we could go on and on and on and look at every single thing of life. And we will find that everything is giving to us something. It's offering to us something. but we don't see it. We don't recognize it. We don't acknowledge it. Even that Zoom right there is helping those online so that they can listen to something, those who like to join us. And so the air you breathe, just imagine we can take that air for granted. Think it's natural and it's there for me to just use it. But do I appreciate the air that fills, keeps this body healthy, keeps me alive, keeps me going? And yes, your parents, because we have learned from them as babies growing how much they have cared for us when we were small. We think that it's natural that parents have to do that, right? They're parents, and so they give me birth, and their job is to take care of me. Doesn't matter. I can misbehave, and it's okay for me to misbehave. Think about them for a moment. What, as parents, they have to work through when I was little, and tolerated and used so many different qualities to help me in some way or another. You being parents, you can see that as your own personal experience of sharing with the children. And so what you've received, what you're doing with it, you're giving it back. We're thankful to God. Why are we thankful to God? God gives, 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 and gives, and there's another word that goes with it. He forgives. He's constantly the giver. And so everything in our lives at every step is giving to us. It's giving something to me. Look at this body we're living in. Do we thank this body for being present in this body, and this body serving me? Imagine all through the day, from the moment you wake up in the morning, and this is where we look at the soul as the living being, and this is the body. Sister Louise was talking and sharing. Now here is the life energy who is subtle. And this life energy needs this body to move around. And if I don't have this body, I can't move around. I can't do it. I need this. So this body is like my vehicle to take me around wherever I want to go. Do I pause to say, thank you, body? That you're serving me so well that even if you're not well, I still use you. I still get the things done through the body, even though the body is not well. And the body works along with me, it obeys, it moves along. Yes, are you familiar with that? That your body is not well and still it's cooperating with you? The body does. But do I appreciate? And this body is the first form of nature, of matter, that I'm using. How well am I using it? How respectful am I using it? And that's my gratitude back for the body serving me, is how well do I serve it? What do I give back to it? Look at these eyes. Yes, look at all the senses. And each one of them is serving me with what I need as the soul. I need to see. I use the eyes to see. The eyes are serving me. How much gratitude do I have to these eyes? These ears, this mouth. We, as I said, we take it all for granted that We have it, so we just use it. But it's to become aware that how do I feel when someone appreciates me? We say we don't look for appreciation. We don't look for thank you. But yet it feels very nice when someone says, thank you for something that you have done. Right? Thank you. Why? Because it's a form of thinking of me. It's a form of giving to me something, offering something, sharing something. And so when I'm using all of this, it means it's giving to me something. And so I need to offer something back in return. Because when I offer something back in return, it's as though I am giving joy to this body, for example. And this body starts to serve me in a more better way. If I create the joy, like I said to Sister Louise, so Louise, you know what? I'm not feeling that great today. Would you share with everyone for about 15 minutes? Now, I appreciate that very much. And my body appreciates that very much. Why? Because I'm not using it for the whole hour. So you using it, but you don't force it. And so what the body does, the body serves you and you serve the body. I'm just giving that as an example that how the two in anything, whether it's the mother and the daughter, it's an exchange that's happening in a very beautiful way, in a very natural way. If I think of my parents and my grandparents, it was a lot of sharing, a lot of caring, a lot of love. Someone gets angry with you. Do you say thank you to them? Who says thank you to anyone who is angry with you? Can you say thank you to someone who is angry with you? Can you say thank you? You do? No, one is you can, but do you really appreciate someone who is angry with you? It depends on you.
So you can thank someone who's angry with you if you have the inner space cultivated to be able to handle it, and you can be very useful to that person. You know, I've been on both sides of it.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's if someone catches you off guard, obviously most people get defensive naturally, but sometimes saying thank you is the best thing. It's totally disarming to someone who's being rude or whatever.
I just want to add to that.
Mhm.
I may not say thank you to the person, but after my initial reaction, what happens is I know where I'm going to go. If I don't get angry back, the whole world opens for me. And then 3 days later, a phone call, you're both having time to cool down, whatever the situation was, they were off. I wasn't off. So I can think something, but I don't have to behave and be a mirror image of the person who's in anger at the moment, possessed by whatever is wrong with them that day. So it's
You know,
my opportunity to rise above.
actually, in every situation, we can learn. And when I can extract the lesson in that moment, I will be able to be grateful for that person. In their form, they needed something from me, but I wasn't offering it. I wasn't offering, and so there is anger towards me. They would be upset towards me. They would be waste thoughts on me. But when I have and I am in that place where I recognize and I'm able to give it, there's no need. And so you're grateful that that person showed up in front of you to tell you maybe what more do you need? What is that that you, if you can have a little bit more of this to give to me, I'm going to be at a better place. But these are called unspoken language. One is where we say thank you to people and you appreciate them. And, sometimes we could make it become such a big thing when we say thank you. Like Thanksgiving is coming up and it would be the day you've never heard so many thank you, right? So many things of gratitude you're going to be hearing on that day. But what about the rest of our lives? That we're receiving so much. So even to the person who comes in front of you and is very unpleasant or doesn't feel good about you, always remember, anyone who is upset with you, they're upset because they need something from you. They're asking for something from you. And so I'm not recognizing that. I'm just recognizing that that person is upset. So when I recognize, and this is where here the meditation does help us to see what is my need? What is that person's need? And then I go within myself to see how can I emerge that quality or go to God and receive that quality if I find I don't have it. And the moment I can start being in that quality, whether it's love, whether it's peace, whether it's contentment, whether it's patience, it could be anything anyone is asking for in unspoken language of words, saying I want it, but expressing it in a very harsh way. I can change it. Yes.
I just want to add one thing to that. I've found that since I'm able to do that, when I'm able to do that, there's a ripple effect if it's in public, because people that are not involved notice that you're not the old person who would fight back anymore. And you're giving to those who are not even involved a lesson in peace, tolerance.
Right. And so we need to recognize, and that's how what I would suggest for this month of living this life of gratitude is to reflect on everything that's giving to you something. What is it giving to you? What is it that it's offering to you? And what are you doing with it? And how do I respond back in giving the return back to what I've received? It could be anyone. It could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be your children, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be anyone. It could be Mother Nature in general, this body, the air you breathe. Looking at the stars and bring a smile to your face and say on a dark night, you look at the stars. Identify all the things in your life, in your day-to-day life. Identify yourself with it, that it's offering, it's giving you something. It's making you feel good. It's making you change your negative thinking even. Check and see, observe. It's the month to observe and to recognize and move to a place within yourself where, am I offering back something? Or am I just only on the receiving end that I want, I take? It's for me. It's natural that the air is there for me to breathe. And so, yes, it's natural. So I take it all day, all night. my whole existence. Even I haven't thought about it to that extent. Where am I appreciating everything in life that's serving me? And I can talk about it, but am I going to be consciously aware now of offering something back to what is making me comfortable and making me happy? And then, when I think about, as Luis was sharing about this education here, this study here, this study is so profound. This study is what, for me, it makes me stay alive. And it's not alive as life and death, but it's a study that makes me see. It makes me understand. It makes me become clear in my reasoning. Because if I don't have the study, there would be things and scenes and situations of life that I would just go into without thinking, without even understanding the laws of life. I would get engaged with it and just do things without even pausing. Is this the right thing to do? And this is why we have created a lot of waste in ourselves. We create these waste thoughts, these negative thoughts and negative feelings. All of that comes in because somewhere in my life, there isn't an awareness of what is it that I need to do and what is it that I need to be or be to do. And so I'm just living life. So I'm very, very thankful for this space that we're in here. And we can be together and we can study. Study a study that brings an understanding, that brings an awareness that if I'm going to take a step in a direction that is going to lead me away from my truth, I can change it. I can change it. And how can I change it? It's an awareness that whatever I do, others will see and they will follow. Now, they will learn that from me. So can I change it and be it in such a way that it becomes an offering to someone? I'm not going to use the word a lesson for someone, but it becomes an offering for someone. So can I see that before I do something, I can pause and I can think and change the direction of the way I was going in terms of maybe my likes and my dislikes? I can change that. Why I would want to do that? Because in the soul, there is the feeling, I want to be peaceful. I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. So if there is a scene that's playing out there, and I'm aware of my thoughts and I'm aware of my feelings, I can bring change to it. You just have to create a thought, but it's through the study that you can create that thought to bring the change. I was having conversation with someone yesterday, talking about something, and this person was so proud of what the decision that she made. And I looked at it and I said, very nice, but the consequences, have you thought about the consequences of that? overall, it seems pretty okay. It satisfies me that, I did this and I felt God helped me and I made this happen. It worked for me. And then we went on into the conversation that this act, am I seeing that there could be many others who could experience sorrow from my action? Even it's an action that I felt is good for me. So for a moment, this person stopped and think. And I think that soul is still thinking about it. Because sometimes in life, we make a decision that makes me feel good. And I feel very good about it. But in I feeling good about it, what about the world? What about others who are with me? What about all of us in this room? And so it is something that I have to go back within myself to see that in my actions, whatever it is that I do, it should not be something that is responsible to give sorrow to anyone. It should not cause sorrow for anyone. Even if I want something that will make me happy and it's going to cause sorrow to someone, I have to pause. I need to pause and see that I'm looking for happiness. Even simple thing that we're eating. We may sit for dinner and I may say, this is good for me. And I want this. And I need this. But at my table, it's not what everyone needs. It's not what everyone wants. And so see how I'm being for myself. And I'm not being for everyone. So I prepare the meal and I prepare the meal for what I like. And I don't prepare the meal for what everyone likes. And that's what I'm talking about, that, it was about relationship. And so in relationships, we could easily be thinking a lot about ourselves and what we need and what we want. But thanks and giving gratitude and living this life is about sharing. And I like Daddy Janki, these 3 words that she has used. It stayed with us, stayed with me, is is caring, sharing, and inspiring. Share, care, inspire. Because we are inspiring others through our lives, through our actions. But imagine all of you in this room and those on Zoom. Just imagine that you have taken something as an awareness and you go out there and you start recognizing the things in your life which upsets you, which doesn't create happiness inside of you, and you start reversing it. You start reversing it and finding something that is beautiful inside of you that you have, and you haven't recognized it before. And you say, I will offer this. Imagine how many changes, how many ways thoughts will change, how much feelings will change. So much will get changed because I'm thinking from another place inside of me. And I feel that's what's appreciation. That's what thank you means. It's not about me saying thank you for putting this here, for doing these things. And yeah, we do say thank you. Sometimes we could even say thank you, and it also could be meaningless. You know, it's just like, by the way, thank you. But think more of the meaningful thank you. Think of the thank you that when you have left, you've given something or offered something to someone, it's something they will remember. And I'm not talking about giving tangible things. That could be one thing that you do at holidays, but something more which is so valuable that you can't put money to it. Can't put anything to it. It's so valuable. So think about it. And this month, spend this time. And if you can write 10 things every day you appreciate, you will find in the rest of today what day we are and how many days remaining in the month, you will have a collection of thoughts and feelings and collection of gratitude. If you can't do 10, find 5 things. Because every day you will find something new that you could be grateful for. Those benches you're sitting on, can you imagine? Who created it? What did they do? How did they make it comfortable? Could have been hard. But no, someone said, okay, let's make it soft. Let's put cushion in it. But we take things, as I said, in life, that it's there for just to give to me, to make me comfortable or to make me happy. But I want us to think about this in this month. How can I give back? How can I serve? How can I share, care, and inspire? So that life is lived with abundance. Life is lived in a very beautiful way. Life is lived, it's like an exchange in a very natural way. Think it's difficult or is it easy? Anand, what do you think? What are you thinking now? You're thinking it's not that easy. But I think once we start doing it, it would be like going on one of the machines at the gym, and it challenges your body. And then you start doing it. That what happens after 2 weeks? It starts becoming easier. And so it challenged the body. Now we have to challenge ourselves. We're challenging the soul. And we're saying to the soul, now find the things that is serving you where I can feel in my heart, I am grateful. And I was thinking about this thank you. Can I think about thank you with quality? I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your sweet sharing. I thank you for, so what you're doing, it's as though you're not only automatic response of thank you, but it's like you heard, you see, you felt. You're acknowledging. And it is something that you will find that it will stay with you. It's not just going to pass by, but it will be something that comes deeply with feelings. Think about it. We're all thinking about it here tonight together. And that's why the gathering is always for us not only to share, but to listen to all of you, because you have your own wealth within you. And that's what we are grateful for, that you come here and you're also able to open up and share something. Anyone wants to share? Yes, anyone has anything more to share? Yes, sister at the back. Would we be able to hear those on Zoom? You will try.
I really appreciate all the things that was mentioned today about gratitude, because gratitude is an attitude that we can all develop. And when we have something positive to say or find in life, we can respond to any situations and respond in a place where the person who is perhaps angry with us can have can see something positive, can see the light.
Right. Right. Thank you very much. That's insightful. See, that's what I'm saying. You thank, but you're finding something to support it. So, yes, Jennifer.
Second.
Something, you mentioned the word decision, right? Making decisions earlier in your talk. And I have been contemplating for the last 2 weeks. I don't know where this came from, but the difference between a decision and a reaction. And so often, at least in my own life, I finally started to sift out, okay, was that a decision or was that a reaction? And so then you have more room inside yourself to actually make a decision. And when you make a decision, it gives you gratitude. It takes you somewhere and it opens you up when you make a good decision, right? Because I think a lot of the times when we do something that creates sorrow, I don't think it's a decision. I think it's Maya. I
Mhm.
think it's weakness. It's aspects of it's a mood. It could be eating too much sugar, you know? So
Right. She's not there. My sister, would you share something?
Um, I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but we have to give thanks to ourselves.
Yes.
I think that's one of the most important aspects of being grateful is grateful for yourself being in a moment of abundance, having so much, having the capacity to understand right from wrong, why we're here, and all of the above.
Right. So gratitude to the self, thanking the self. You know, when you fail in something, fail means I didn't succeed the way I think I should. Can I still pat myself on the back and say, you have done? And then take the next step. So that's also gratitude, that I can give myself a pat and say, I have still done well. It could have been worse. So anyways, these were just thoughts to get us thinking for this month. So by the time Thanksgiving, we're going to find we're going to have a wealth in our lives. It's going to be so much, to be abundance. And to be my beautiful collection this year of what I'm going to be taking with me into the new year. So start collecting. Start becoming aware of everything, whether you make a note physically or you make a mental note, but try finding things around you. And why do you feel grateful? And what is it that I'm offering back? offer something. Sometimes we think going and feeding those who are in need, wonderful. But there could be other things I can do that is very, very small, but it's very big. So let's think about it more in this month. So let's have a few minutes of meditation. Put up the screen in our mind and writing all that which I'm grateful for. The past, the present, that will create the future. In the past, I can recognize few things. And yet at every step, there was something that carried me and brought me to this point in time of life. And so I am very grateful for the known and the unknown, sharing my purest thoughts and feelings with every soul and every particle of matter that I've engaged and played my part with. Share the beautiful feelings of love, cooperation, of patience, of tolerance, of forgiveness, of the power to listen, to understand, even to recognize that which I didn't recognize before, that will help someone to feel better in themselves. There is that deep feeling of appreciation. Share it. Become aware of precious qualities that will make a difference in someone else's life. Yes, these qualities, each one of us, we have them. I just need to remember that I have them. It is easy to share money. But now let me share qualities. Share and share. It's like giving blessings. And this is what comes back as a return to the soul in a very, very natural way. As I think of God, the highest and high, the supreme. Every second that the intellect is connected, there is receiving. Because God gives constantly. I connect, and so the soul receives. And that receiving is being distributed in many different ways to all souls of the world. I share through my thoughts. I share through my words. I share through my actions, through my attitude and vibrations. Even to smile is sharing. So let me take moments in this month to recognize all the beautiful things in life and the not so beautiful. Let me change my own attitude so that I can give to bring the changes. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, you did it, and you did it beautifully, and I'm sure we're all wishing you good health.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for reminding us to appreciate and give thanks for all the little things, right? Don't leave without your Tolian blessing. And I have a few announcements. This Sunday, we have a few things going on here. Meditation for World Peace, online or in person here, 6:30 to 7:30. If you're on the email, you probably have notices about this. And also on Sunday from 5 to 6:30 in the bookshop down there. We're having a casual conversation on Dottie Janke's book, Feeling Good, Feeling Great, actually, right? Feeling great no matter what. That's what she always said. And lastly, we have a beginner's course. Are we accepting new people? It's in person only in the bookshop, 6:30 to 7:30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the month of November. Correct?
Please give us a call.
Yes. Give us a call. Thank you for coming. And Om Shanti to Zoom. Om Shanti. So glad you braved the cold and came out to see us in person. It's nice.